Hi, I'm Ryan Pickering, and today I'll be talking to you about planned obsolescence. This is quite relevant to the design of projects, as it's a very big factor in modern day projects for products in particular. The first thing we must know is what exactly is planned obsolescence, and when it comes down to it, it is a business strategy. It's designed to increase the profits of companies and manufacturers so that they can make more money. This first came around the time of Thomas Edison with the incandescent light bulb. It was designed for an incandescent light bulb to blow because a perfect light bulb would have a perfect vacuum inside of it, which would prevent any blowouts and would essentially make a perfect light bulb that would never break or blow. However, you could not make money from replacements in this manner, and as such, no company has ever attempted to make a perfect light bulb. They've designed all light bulbs with the intention of it to fail in order to increase revenue by demanding replacement products. As such, really, planned obsolescence is either designed to fail. It can also be a prediction of the end of a product or the support of a product, and also the promise of an upgrade to a product, which will be explained further into the presentation. A key thing that you'll notice with planned obsolescence is that market is really the main driving force of planned obsolescence. In fact, I've got quite a good quote here presented. Instead of trying to build the best, the lightest, the fastest, and the cheapest, engineers should apply their skills to building shoddy articles that would fall apart after a short time, all in the interest of the market. As you can probably see from that there's many implications of that, as it is really a negative comment about planned obsolescence. It really does show the greed of companies, to increase their profits. It also makes you question your morale, really. Are you going to make a shoddy product or not? And you've really, as an engineer, a professional engineer, you've got an obligation to fulfill the requirements of your client, which can be really difficult for people because we all want to make the best. We want to make the greatest thing we can quite often, and you should do. I believe the best way to describe planned obsolescence is actually through the implementations of it that you can see. I've already discussed Thomas Edison's light bulb. It also happens with refrigerators and cars. You often hear how things are built better in the old days. And cars, they wouldn't break too easily because we didn't want them to. Made them quite strong. You also have your phones that get yearly refreshes, particularly with the iPhone. In softwares, also, Microsoft Word 2010, 2013 promises upgrades. The fact that there's a year on the end of that shows that, it's a promised upgrade. You want that year, the brightest, the best, the newest, and the easiest way to tell that is from the year. Also with computer hardware, a lot of hardware manufacturers constantly leapfrogging their competitors by withholding information so that they can have the best product, because just having the best on the market often brings sales for the entire product line that you have. Yep, you can get an idea of that, of how planned obsolescence gets managed through that. It's not always just about making an inferior product. It's, the promise of an upgrade, which I said earlier. Um, making something better, or making an improvement on an old product and re-releasing it. The something rather 2. It's better than something rather. With all this negativity, we should start talking about the advantages of planned obsolescence. And the really big one that really drives the market is the exponential increases in sales, which happens very often because you're gonna produce yearly freshers or malfunctions, gonna need replacements. You're gonna drive up sales quite often, which really drastically improves stuff. yeah, improve sales. Secondly, encourages improvement, which it sounds a bit weird because we're trying to design these things to fail, but if it's essentially broken in its feature term, and we can find out these areas in the next year's release, we can fix these up. And another way is encourages innovation, because again with yearly releases, you've got to have those new features, and you might be alright at the start, but towards the end of the through the particular product's life cycle, you're going to need better and better stuff to really advertise and sell your product, and hence it encourages innovation this way. And the next thing that comes up is disadvantages, and quite often you're gonna kind of have to expect this, is you're increasing the risk. Not only are you increasing the risk of your product malfunctioning, which is obvious, but it can malfunction before its time is due, and this can lead to safety concerns. In particular, you can't do too much planned obsolescence to a car, because if the car malfunctions, it's going to, put someone's life at risk. Hence why we have to have yearly remakes of cars instead of making it, worse or inferior. You're also going to have morality conflicts with your engineers, because a lot of times, you want to make the best. You want to make the best thing, lightest, fastest, strongest, highest quality thing on the market. But you're telling them to stop doing this, and they want to bring out the best product they can for that price range. You're also increasing waste. Sorry, waste. Because waste really gets increased because we're chucking out old, perfectly good electronics all the time, simply because the new one's out. And we get called a waste generation sometimes because of that. You're also going to decrease your reputation somewhat if other companies don't follow suit, because you are putting out an inferior product, and if you don't keep up your feature increases with each yearly release or timed release, you're gonna put decrease your reputation, and this in turn puts pressure on research and development. And and if this doesn't keep up, you're going to get dissatisfied customers, and this is clearly evident with the next generation consoles that recently hit the market. A lot of games simply can't perform on these next gen consoles as people would like to see. They haven't seen the giant increase in quality that they were expecting after 8 years between a console refresh, and as such, the next gen consoles haven't felt that great, and you got a lot of dissatisfied customers, and excuses being made from developers when you can't keep up to date. And going on with my last comment there, with the lack of upgrades with new refreshes, yearly refreshes or timed refreshes, is that you don't get that much of a new product, and you get this thing where you get the next gen, but it has precisely 30% more gen to it and not much else. That came from Linus Sebastian from sometime earlier this year. He's the CEO of Linus Media Group, and the channel's Linus Tech Tips. Check him out. Before the information I'm giving you now, the next step really is to learn how to implement planned obsolescence into your projects for your products. The best thing first is look at the life of your product. When will it die, or when is it predicted to die? With computers, parts in particular, you gotta remember Moore's law. The number of transistors on a silicon die is gonna double every 2 years, or that's what the trend suggests it is. Also look at the probability of malfunction, particularly with mechanical designs. A deterioration of components in civil, how long will certain building materials last, and whatnot. With all this, you can determine how long a product will last, and when replacements will be needed, or when the next refresh is due, or the next upgrade is due, to ensure better market. And with that, that concludes my presentation. Here's a list of all the references that I used within the project. Thank you very much.